Welcome to the MamasteFit Podcast. I know that we said that the era of childbearing for MamasteFit was over. Roxanne lied, apparently. She is in it for one more time.
The universe.
This is not a sustainable business model, but
said otherwise.
This is likely the final MamasteFit baby between the two of us. And then the next generation could take over from here. But we're going to share Roxanne's pregnancy announcement in this week's episode. Welcome to the MamasteFit Podcast. This is Gina, perinatal fitness trainer and birth doula.
And I'm Roxanne, labor and delivery nurse and student midwife.
And this is the MamasteFit Podcast, where we empower you on your prenatal fitness, birth, and postpartum return to fitness journey.
Our podcast shares how to move throughout your pregnancy to stay strong and comfortable, because pain is not a requirement of pregnancy. Understand the science of birth and how to approach recovery after birth.
We share our personal experience as mothers navigating this stage in our lives, plus our professional expertise as birth workers and fitness professionals.
Our goal is to help you feel confident as you navigate the perinatal timeframe for an empowering pregnancy, positive birth, and postpartum journey.
We are glad to have you with us on this journey and that you have chosen us to support you. Surprise! Roxanne has at least one baby in her tummy. Her daughter is rooting for 3.
She really wants triplets.
But
she's telling everyone that there's triplets.
Ultrasound said just 1. So how did I find out that Roxanne is pregnant? Because even though this is her episode, I'm going to be the only one talking because Roxanne is super nauseous. We had a brand partnership that we were supposed to do where you need somebody who is having an active menstrual cycle to use the product so that we can talk about it. And Roxanne texts me and is like, ugh, I don't think I could do the partnership anymore. And my immediate response was, are you pregnant? To where she sent me a picture of her pregnancy test. She was like, I don't know. And this happens every pregnancy. Every pregnancy, you send me a picture of your very clearly pregnant pregnancy test. And you're like, I don't know. I might have lion eyes right now. I don't think this is really unclear. And it'll even be like a digital one that's like, you are pregnant. And she's like, I don't know. Maybe this test isn't accurate. So Roxanne is pregnant. How did you feel when you found out that you were pregnant with what you thought was not you did not know that you were going to be pregnant again?
I mean, I had suspicions. So obviously we were doing natural family planning. Not well, because if you don't listen to your fertile window, it is ineffective.
So we did a whole video on birth control and natural family planning. Just don't listen to it.
Well, do listen to it, because the
don't
red
even watch
days,
it.
Like your fertile window is effective. Like if you do not engage in unprotected sex in the middle of your fertile window, you're good. But knowing when your fertile window is in the moment, but also when you're in the mood, maybe question it for a second. But I was talking to someone else about it. Like, it kind of sucks because that's when you like naturally hormonally want it the most.
If
it's
only
kind
we
of,
had other
kind of
birth control
bullshit.
methods that we could utilize.
That is
If only.
If only we engaged. But also like the taboo of like being a 35-year-old adult in a marriage of almost 10 years. I was like, condoms just makes me feel like I'm a 17-year-old like trying to have sex with my boyfriend when I'm 17, not get pregnant, because it just you feel so ridiculous in the store buying them. So I'm like, I just can't.
You gotta take away the stigma, Roxanne. There's no stigma with it.
But it's there. So these are all my learning points. That obviously hindsight, all my learning points. Also, scheduling, your sterilization procedures is also helpful.
So we did a star chart reading like a year ago. And that's how I found out the day I was going to give birth. Because the star chart lady was like, the moons are aligned in these ways. And it's the one that's your mother planet is most aligned at this point. And so you're going to go into labor on this weekend because of the moons. And I was like, cool. And I did. I went into labor and she told me it's going to be a slow start and then it's going to go really fast. And it did just that.
I know. And you
so
reached out to
Roxanne
her.
was like, hell yeah, let me in on this star chart reading.
She
I want to know my future.
On the dates though.
She said, And you would like to not have another baby, you need to do something about it.
No, she said if I didn't want to have another baby, to abstain at the end of January, beginning of February, which I abstained in January and February.
Because your husband was deployed.
But I abstained during that time. I listened to her. She didn't say anything about April, March. She didn't say anything about April or March, just January.
So how did you feel when you found out that you were pregnant? Unexpectedly.
Had an inkling. So I was at the birth center the day I was supposed to start my periods. You know, I'm prepared. Like I had my disc with me. I had my period underwear for just in case. And like halfway through the day, nothing happens. And I'm like very regular. I'm a very regular person. And normally I would have been like, it's just off. I'm still getting back into my cycle. It's fine. I'll wait until Friday. If I don't get it on Friday, then I'll take my test. But I texted Patrick, my husband, and I was like, so you need to get you need to schedule your vasectomy ASAP. And he goes, why do you say this suddenly on a Tuesday afternoon? And I'm like, because I was supposed to start my period today and I did not.
So the same thing happened to our parents, except the opposite happened when my mom got her period and did not get a positive pregnancy test, where they thought they were pregnant with their fourth kid. And my dad, or our dad, was like delaying his vasectomy, and he was just like putting it off and putting it off. And then my mom was like, honey, my period is late. And he was like, and then she got her period and he was like immediately in the doctor's office.
Yeah. It is now like initial consult scheduled. But so I was at the birth center and I was like, how the hell am I going to get a pregnancy test? A pregnancy test.
That would be nice if there was a birth test that told you what day you were going to go into labor.
If someone could create that, that'd be pretty.
I'm sure there's a hormonal thing.
You could probably do something. You just add that to the list. But obviously they have pregnancy tests at the birth center. So I did acquire one and took it home with me because I didn't want to take it at the birth center because I would have just spiraled by myself there. So then I get home, as we eat dinner with the kids, and then I go to the bathroom and I take it and I leave it there and I just like lay on the bed for a little bit. Just let it.
Did you tell Patrick that you were doing
this? Yeah, I told Patrick I was doing that. So then he walks into the bathroom and he goes, what does that mean? And I was like, what is it? I haven't looked yet. And he goes, there's 2 lines. Does that mean we're good?
Yeah, you're good and pregnant.
Does that mean we're good? And I'm like, yeah, that means a positive. That's a positive. He goes, what do you mean? What's a positive? Like, you're good? That means we are pregnant. And he goes, are you sure? Are you sure that's what that means? I don't know if I trust it. And I was like, we can get another test if you want.
How often are there false positives?
It's like super rare. I did read the box because I was pretty convinced as well that it was positive.
I think there's probably more.
It's like 0.2% risk.
I think there's probably more people that think they see a second line.
Yeah, it's more false negatives also, like where it was just too early in their pregnancy to like have the double lines. But no, this like it changed pretty quickly. So like strongly positive, not like faint line. It was like very clearly obvious. And I was like, it could be false. Like this one's fine. Like it could be something else. So then he like goes and buys like, you know, like the fancy digital ones. And so we took those over the night and we just kind of laid in bed processing. Just held hands and laid there as our children refused to go to bed. And I was like,
I will say the transition from 3 to 4 is pretty easy. You're already outnumbered. So it's really what's another one.
At this point. So then like we like slept on it the next morning. I felt more accepting. And my husband was also like, it's fine. He's like, we will figure it out. He's like, obviously, we have 3. What's another one? Just add in another one. We'll figure it out. We had our day, our little night to kind of like, you know, process, grieve our future that we were imagining of having 3 kids in their own beds, having my own bed back to myself, not having to pay for another kid of childcare, going on vacations without a newborn.
It is hard to, so a lot of hotel rooms, it's 5.
Yeah.
So with 6, like I have to book 2 rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I don't. Like Zoe, we're smuggling her in.
She's not a.
But once like my kids are older, I have to book 2 hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Whenever I travel.
Yeah. Unless you get like a suite.
Logistically, the jump to 4 kids.
Yeah. You also have to think about like cars. Thankfully, I already have a car that can have 4 car seats. But like,
I mean, that's why I had a 4th kid. I had enough room for one more.
Yeah. My husband's car can't fit 4 car seats in it. Which, I mean, honestly, he might be okay with just getting a new car. He really wants the same car that Baron has. Well, Gina's husband.
Oh, if you get the ST, you could do the free driving course.
There's enough room for 4 car seats in that one because there's a third row. It's a pretty tight squeeze in the third row, but it has a third row. But also no car payment is nice. So our house also is a 4-bedroom. So like logistically, if we could get this baby to share a room with Joan, that would be ideal. But Joan's also still in the bed. These are all the things that like I'm like processing. I'm also processing the fact that I'm going to graduate midwifery school. Hopefully, fingers crossed, send me birth vibes, everybody. In August, September. Probably take my boards in August, September. Hopefully pass on the first try. No one will know when I take my test, just in case I fail, but you will know if I pass it. And then originally I was going to take some time off before starting working to like just enjoy life as a licensed midwife without any worries about being on call for just like 1 or 2 months. And then I was going to start working. Well, now I can't really do that because those 1 or 2 months would then be December and then I'm going to have a baby and then maternity leave because I would like to take maternity leave. And then like, why did I even start? Like, do I start and then just take maternity leave or do I wait until after maternity leave? So obviously these are all the spiraling things that I'm like thinking about.
But are you excited now?
Yes. I mean, it's been 4 weeks since we learned. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Today is week 8 of pregnancy. I found out the day before 4 weeks. So it's been 4 weeks. We are definitely more excited now. I still think it's a lot to process. I think anything unexpected that you weren't planning for is hard to sometimes process at first and kind of like work through accepting whatever is happening in that moment. But like, we have to be adults and eventually accept it and start to move on from it or move forward with it. So we are obviously more excited. The kids are really excited. They've been asking for another sibling for about 2 years since Joan was born. Lily has been like, I would like another one. More.
Another, please.
More babies. More babies. And I'm like, oh, we're not going to have another baby. Like, just enjoy this baby. And then Zoe was born. And Lily was like, I would like another. Mom, can you please have another baby? I want a baby like Zoe. And I'm like, you do remember that they grow up eventually. And they stop being this like cute, tiny little baby and they become like a toddler like Colin. And she goes, no, I would like another baby. And now she wants 3 of these little babies. If it becomes triplets, I will need a lot more time to process. But we are more excited. And we planned now we're going to have a home birth. We're going to have a home birth, being positive.
So what is the shift for you? Because in previous episodes and experiences, you've said that you were never comfortable with a home birth based on all the things that you know about as a medical professional. What has shifted for you that has made you want to do a home birth instead?
Probably like attending home births as not just a sister. And then doing clinicals, with the home birth midwife that I'm doing my clinicals with, the way that she like approaches all of her counseling and like just like the length of the appointments. And it's just like a different like relationship building where, I mean, one of the births that I went to, like I like saw her like for a lot of her pregnancy and like being at the birth was like super emotional and I like cried. And I'm like, you wouldn't get this in like a hospital setting. Necessarily. Granted, like that's like me being the provider for the birth and like attending that would be like it's really special that I feel like it would be kind of nice to have that same bond with the person that is attending my birth as the midwife. Because granted, like I like love all of my midwives that I've had previously, because I've had with my first, I had the same one for like the entire pregnancy, and then she came for the birth, so that was really special. But I just feel like it's different because those were all like 15, 20-minute appointments that you don't talk about like life. You just talk about like, oh, how are you feeling? Do you have any questions about your pregnancy? Any aches or pains? Are you drinking enough water? Okay.
So
have a good day.
So previously you've said that you know too much about birth, and that's why you didn't feel comfortable with the concept of home birth. How have those fears been mitigated for you, that you feel more comfortable giving birth at home now, knowing everything that you know about birth?
I'm probably just like learning the actual statistics of it. Like obviously that's still going to always still be a fear in the back of my mind, but also understanding the actual likelihood of those things happening. And granted, I do bleed a lot, but like I had like discussed this with like even prior to getting pregnant, because I don't know, maybe it was just like had a sense that it was happening. I don't know. The universe was telling me to prep
you did do
my
a reel
thoughts.
that was like showing up to my midwife appointment.
I manifested too hard. I manifested the wrong thing. I'm trying to manifest people coming into labor when I'm at the hospital. Like, instead, I manifested a pregnancy. But probably like I had a conversation with my preceptor about like my births, and I was like, yeah, like I just bleed heavier, and even with like my first, I bled heavier, and with Colin's birth, I bled more, but it was also like my like uterus was lower. But like I didn't feel the same way after. I probably recovered the easiest after Colin's birth. I don't think I bled as much at his birth because I think the environment was just different. And then we were discussing my birth with Joan, where the hospital I was delivering at, their policy is that they don't deliver the placenta until the cord is cut. But they knew that I wanted to do delayed cord clamping. So she was curious if one of the reasons I bled so much was because they were delaying delivering the placenta that was ready to be born, because I wanted to delay cord clamp, but they couldn't deliver the placenta until we cut the cord. And she's like, so like, I wonder if that's why you bled so much, because they should have just delivered your placenta.
Or maybe it was the 20 people staring at you.
I mean, it could have been like a lot of things, but like I bled like a ton with Joan more. I mean, I couldn't see it, but like I felt it. I felt it in my body. I definitely should have left. I should have probably got a blood transfusion. But I like there's now all of these things that I think about that I'm like, maybe I would rather just do this at home where I trust that she ain't go do that shit there. Or I'm just like, whatever. At this point, I've had all the other births. I had a hospital birth at a birth center. Why not try at home now? It's fourth, baby. This will be the last.
We'll see. Stay tuned. I will say it's been good motivation for my husband to go get his vasectomy. Done, because we are done at 4. We are good.
Yeah.
I feel complete at 4.
That I've been seeing, of course, now like everybody on Instagram is announcing their like unexpected pregnancies. And I've been saying that everybody has thankfully asked in a really nice way. Like very few people are like, oh, you're pregnant. Congratulations. Like that's so exciting for your family. And at first I was like, yeah, thanks. Cool. Like I'm still like very sad about this. Like, thank you for your congratulations. But a lot of people that work in birth usually start with, how are you doing? How do you feel about this? Instead of just quickly going to, oh my God, congratulations. This is so exciting for you. Because at the moment that a lot of these people I was telling, because I had to make plans for future jobs and clinicals, because if I'm like vomiting, I cannot go to clinicals if I'm actively vomiting in the first trimester. None of them were like, oh my God, this is so exciting for you. I'm so excited for your family. They're all like, oh my gosh, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Like, tell me how you're feeling. Are we excited? Are we still processing? Like, and I was like, I really appreciate this, because this is giving me the space to be like, we are working through our feelings. I'm sharing this information with you because I feel I need to, but also because I feel that you are safe people. But thank you for giving me the space to not like immediately feel like I need to be excited instantly, because you think I need to be excited. Like, you were giving me the space to feel like it's okay to not be instantly happy. It's like unexpected and unplanned, but not unloved. Like, we love the baby. We're very excited for them now. But in the moment, I was like, I'm still processing a lot of emotions. And I also now have extra hormones to process these sad emotions. Thank you for giving me the space to feel okay crying about it. But then more recently now, everyone's just like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you. And I'm like, thank you. I'm glad I'm telling you now when I am now excited about it, and not 4 weeks ago when I was still crying. So I think that that's like also changed my perspective. I mean, I already did this in clinicals whenever it was like the first initial like pregnancy confirmation. I always say, okay, like, so before we begin, like, how are we feeling? Like, physically, mentally, emotionally, like, was this like expected? Are we still processing emotions? What do you need from me? And half the time they're like, we were hoping to not be pregnant, but now we are more excited. And I'm like, cool. Do you want to share any of your feelings with me right now? This is a safe space that we can talk about things. And some people will be like, yeah, like they'll go on their little spiel of like how this was unexpected and we unplanned, but not unloved, and going over all of that. And I think that this has now also changed my perspective of like, that is very needed, to give them the space to say it's okay not to instantly be excited. Just because like, I feel like the world tells you if you're not immediately excited, then you're like a shitty parent. Like, you're going to just wishing
why aren't you
terrible
grateful
things.
for this magical
like it's such
thing?
a blessing.
Do you know them people
Which
that
I
struggle?
understand,
Like,
and I understand that. So then that makes you feel shittier that like people try for years to have a baby, and I was not planning on a baby. Now I have one. So it does make you feel really, really shitty because you're like not instantly excited. But I think it's also giving yourself space to like, my feelings are also valid. And it's okay that I wasn't instantly excited. It doesn't mean like I love this baby any less. And I would still be very sad if they left us. So like, now they can stay put because I'm pretty committed.
I'm attached.
I'm pretty attached to this little 4-week-old fetus. Like, they are now mine. They cannot leave. So I think that that's also hard because some, like, I think 1 in 4 people have miscarriages, and I've not had one. And so the entire first 4 weeks, I was like, fuck, I was so upset that first day. Now the universe is going to be like, okay, you weren't happy. I'm going to take your baby away. I was like, oh my God, please don't take my baby away. I'm happy, I swear. So then, yeah, I like think I had like 1 day of like cramps because I like ate nothing or drank nothing. I'm like, oh no, please universe, I'm happy, I swear. So yeah, those are all the processing motions that I'm currently feeling at this exact moment of the past 4 weeks in just one 5-minute spiel. Yeah, it's a lot to process, I think. Pregnancy is weird. And also just...
And the first trimester is just rough.
Yeah,
also.
it's so rough.
So add that on.
Yeah,
to all
like
your
I feel
feelings and
I can't
emotions
eat,
and
like,
processing.
just freaking potatoes and pasta.
Is this your first pregnancy that you've like really struggled with eating?
No, Colin's pregnancy, I wasn't like, I don't think I've ever had like nausea bad with any of them, but like Colin's, if I didn't eat dinner by like 4 or 5 p.m., which like, we do not eat dinner at 4 or 5 p.m. Like, we are an 8 p.m. dinner family, or at the time we were. So I was like struggling. If I didn't eat anything before 4 or 5 p.m., like I didn't eat anything for the rest of, I went to bed because I felt like awful after that. That was probably, like, Jones wasn't terrible. I was just a little sleepy, unless I'm just like, you know, phasing out. Lily, I had no morning sickness.
And I think it was, I don't remember it being that bad.
Lily and Joan, it wasn't really that bad. I think it was mostly just I would throw up if I brush my teeth.
Maybe it's your turn, Roxanne, to have a shitty first trimester.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I've taken a lot of naps. I kind of teased myself, like the first 2 weeks weren't that bad. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be fine. But now it's just like constant nausea.
I felt like week 6 to 10 was like the roughest, and then it got a little bit better.
I will say I have thrown up a couple times, but every time I've had to throw up, was either I like immediately just brush my teeth and it's just like the tongue. I'm just ignoring my tongue right now. It's a big reason
why dental hygiene during pregnancy.
My tongue is not being brushed because I can't. I will throw up.
If I rinsed too hard, I threw up.
You rinsed too hard? What are you doing when you rinse?
Or if it touched the back of my throat.
Oh, okay. Got it. I was like, what are you rinsing with?
Real aggressive wishing, swishing.
But no, I think it's like if I eat the wrong thing and then I instantly get into the car. Those are the times that I've thrown up. Every time that I've thrown up, I was in the car.
So what are you taking to help with the nausea?
So every morning I drink my collagen protein from Needed in my morning cup of coffee. I did try it in orange juice. I love it in the orange juice.
You really have to blend it well in juice because it's cold.
But coffee, I really like my warm coffee in the morning with my collagen protein. And I've noticed a difference in my nausea. Like today, I didn't have the collagen protein. I thought I was going to die earlier. Like I was like, oh, just take me. Just take me out. It's so bad. Like eating a baked potato like 5 minutes ago. I'm not going to survive. Because I didn't drink my collagen this morning, my morning cup of coffee, because I went to a coffee shop instead with my daughter. I should have brought collagen with me. But every morning that I take it, my nausea is better until about like mid-morning, and then it like comes back. So it lasts me for the morning. So I guess now I need to just add in a afternoon collagen protein. But I ordered the sleep and relaxation from Needed because someone told me magnesium is also really helpful for nausea. So I'm going to add that into my evening. I thought I had some, but my mom took them. So I needed more because I'm going to try it out, see if it helps.
I don't know. She's going to need it more.
I know. She's about to have a bunch of 7 grandkids. So sorry. 8 grandkids. 9.
Well, 9, including our brother.
But he doesn't live here, so.
Who I thought was going to be the next generation of MamasteFit babies.
Just kidding. So sorry. But now she's going to have a friend. But no, so I'm excited to try the sleep and relaxation to see if that helps with my nausea as well. And then I am still taking my prenatal vitamins as tolerated with my iron and choline and omega. I do not take it every day. I'm giving myself grace because I don't feel like taking it every day. I would rather, if I'm going to take it, I would like it to stay down. I think if I'm going to go through the work of swallowing all those pills, I would like them to like do actual things in my body versus having to throw them up instantly.
Yeah, you can also use the powdered prenatal vitamin from Needed as well.
I would need the smoothies. I don't love it in my coffee because I think it adds. I don't love vanilla flavored coffee. I think I'm the only weirdo that doesn't like vanilla flavored coffee. I like lavender. If they can make a lavender prenatal, that would be great. No,
I don't like lavender. Anyways, if you want to check out Needed and the products that Roxanne is taking, I also love their collagen, their prenatal vitamins, the whole gamut. You can check them out at thisisneeded.com and use our code MamastePod to get 20% off your order. So lots of plans have changed for you. You had probably this vision of how the next phase of your career
I had a 5-year plan
was going to go, and that is all because now there's a baby that's going to be introduced, which for me, I find the first year of a baby's life is very time consuming and taxing on me.
Yeah.
Because I can't really go away. I can't do like work trips. If I go, the baby has to come with me with like our mom or with somebody that's going to watch her. And so how has that adjustment been for you in changing your life plans? I guess obviously we're excited for a baby. We are adapting. But your plans have changed and you have to kind of shift what you were envisioning for yourself.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm still figuring that out. I think I'm just going to take one day at a time because my 5-year plan was my kids were going to obviously continue to get older. They would need me less. I would get a part-time, full-time, whatever is available job as a midwife while also doing this. And now I can't really do that with a newborn because I do really enjoy my time with my kids when they're like babies, like the first couple months, just like being able to be home with them and like just spend time with them. But I can't really do that forever with them with the need to get a job and like start practicing as a midwife in some capacity. but like I can't bring a baby to work with me and just like strap him on my back. That'd be weird if a little baby was just staring at you on my back as I'm like doing your fundal checks or delivering your baby. I mean, maybe like maybe people would like that. It would be.
I've seen
odd.
like pictures and stuff of like home birth midwives with like their babies strapped to their back. But babies and toddlers are really unpredictable. And so I could also see how bringing a baby or a small child into someone's birth space can be really disruptive. Because even my own kids get disruptive during my labors.
That part will definitely, I mean, also planning like how they're going to fit in our house, as well as my husband's job opportunities. Like we need to stay here for childcare with 4 children. I can't leave I mean, I couldn't leave even with 3, let's be real. But definitely not 4, one of them being a newborn.
Say the 4th is kind of, it feels like the same as 3. And Lily
That's
will be
what
older.
they all say.
And
that's
I'll be
what
older.
Everyone says. And it's like, after you have 3,
totally
it's
a gateway
really just
drug.
like,
because I can totally see
on.
why people have 5 and 6 kids. Because once you have the 4th, you're like, this really isn't that bad. But for me, because of how time consuming the first year is with baby, and I've said this in a previous episode, I don't want to keep feeling like I'm missing out on my older kids because I am stuck with this. Not stuck, like that sounds bad, but that I'm really focused on the baby. Like most of my attention is going to the baby and I don't get to spend as much focused attention on my older kids. And so while I think baby 4 is a gateway drug, we're stopping at 4 as much as I love little babies.
Gateway drug.
Because I want to be able to go do cool stuff with my older kids too.
Yeah, without having to bring a baby.
Past that,
which is like where I'm
phase.
at right now, is that I don't have to bring Joan anywhere. She can stay home and get food, and then I can just take my older daughter or Colin and do like just a mommy and me. Whereas before, everywhere we went, the baby Joan had to come with us.
You and me and me and you and our friend Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve. Steve is great, but like sometimes they really just want like actual one-on-one time with you. And like now when I take them and we just like go and do something with just me and them, like they really do love it and appreciate it. Because it's like, oh yeah, it's just like me and mommy's special time where I can't.
And Steve.
Steve. So like yeah, so I was very much looking forward to like just like one-on-one, actual one-on-one, not one-on-one plus a baby time. Like I took my daughter to get our nails done and it was just me. Well, Adeline came, so Steve with Adeline, but they loved that. So it was like the 2 older girls and Emo and Mom, where I didn't have to bring my baby with me because she could stay home and not require milk.
Yeah. We're just starting to get to the point where like I can leave Zoe for like extended periods of time to like come and do focused work for like several hours and then go back. While before I could do maybe like 2 hours and then I'd have to go back in 2 hours and then go back.
For like this planning, like Mama Stay Fit, now I'm going to have a baby that we're going to have to like bring to childbirth eds again or like figure out like having to take breaks to breastfeed. Hopefully this baby just takes a bottle like Lily did.
All the kids these babies freaking boycotted bottles.
They hate bottles so much, which was super stressful.
We're 6 out of 7 hating bottles.
Yeah, so if this one could take a bottle, that would be really great.
Maybe like the bookend baby will be a bottle.
No, but freaking Zoe said no bottles. So fingers crossed. Send me baby.
Well, your baby's the bookend.
Oh yeah, that's true. Freaking Lily would drink bottles like whole 5-ounce bottle in like 2 minutes. If that could also happen to this baby, that would be great. It's very convenient. Lily would also love to feed the baby a bottle. If there's 3, now that I'm thinking about Lily, yeah. If there's not triplets, there's only 1.
She can feed all 3 of them.
Yeah, she'll feed all 3.
She can feed
they
2,
can be her triplets.
and you can feed one of them.
Yeah.
Just give one to Joan, give one to Lily.
No, Joan would just drop the baby. Adeline can come live with us and she can feed the one baby. There's only 1 baby. Don't start the rumor that I'm having triplets.
Oh God.
Lily is starting the rumor. The number of her teachers that have been like, oh my gosh, I heard congratulations are in order. Lily has been telling us there's triplets. And I'm like, there's only 1. They're the only one. And they're like, oh, that's way better. Okay. you seem happier with just one. And I was like, yes, it's not triplets. It's not triplets.
So please, God.
And then Lily in the background, but please let it be triplets. No, just one.
We'll remind you of this, Lily, when you're of childbearing.
I know. I told her she could have triplets if she wants to have triplets. And I was like, I will support you through your triplets, but I do not want triplets. And she's like, but you're not a real midwife yet. Well, by the time you have triplets, I will be a midwife. 20 years from now.
So,
yeah,
this baby was not expected, but very loved. But very
loved and wanted.
So you have processed.
Yes.
You've grieved the future that you were envisioning for yourself.
Yeah.
And now that future just includes a little baby.
Yeah.
Your friend Steve.
Our friend Steve.
Your friend Steve. Lots of changes coming.
Yeah.
We get to have another MamasteFit baby that you all can join us on the journey. I will say that's been one of my favorite parts about starting
so many
MamasteFit,
people
like
around the same time as me.
Yeah.
Which January is not a very common time. A due date.
We have kind of shared each pregnancy since Owen's.
Fairly early.
Throughout. How did you feel sharing the pregnancy really early before we conclude? That was something that I've always done. I've always shared it super early.
I usually always want an ultrasound prior to sharing because there's always like the risk that it's like not an embryo and like there's other things that it could be. So like I think before I shared, I wanted an ultrasound. And so thankfully I do clinicals where there's an ultrasound so I can just get it early. But even with Joan, I think we got it at like 7 weeks at like the boutique ultrasound. And that makes me feel more confident to share early. But also I knew that like if the pregnancy didn't continue, I would rather have support. And I wouldn't have to literally tell every single person that I did tell that I was pregnant prior to the announcement. They like send the message of like, just kidding. I could just make an announcement on Instagram and then reshare it. And then that could have been easy peasy way to share it. But also a lot of people would be there to support me through it versus just being alone, processing an unexpected pregnancy and now a loss.
I will say the people that announced their pregnancies to me that like maybe I don't interact with all the time, 6 months later when I noticed that there was no baby, I just made an assumption that they maybe had a loss. And so they never had to like reconfirm with me or like come back and be like, hey, I know I told you. Yeah. But actually like they never had to like do that conversation with me. It was just something
but
that
I mean, the people that
recognized.
I told were like people that I was close with. So like I would, like obviously I would text you.
I would hope so.
Not just be like, just kidding.
As somebody who has actually had pregnancy losses and announced very early, I found it really helpful to have a community as opposed to grieving by myself.
Yeah.
To have people that I could rely on to help support me as I was kind of grieving. And also, I wanted to be excited from the beginning and celebrate the baby from the beginning as opposed to, I'm only going to celebrate this baby when they're born. Like, that was not a good feeling for me personally. But I think whatever somebody feels most comfortable doing is it'll be individualized, but that's my perspective as somebody who's actually had losses.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling now? You had a little bit of a cry sesh in the middle of this podcast.
Yeah, I know I did. Emotions. Yeah, I mean, I'm still obviously working through all the emotions. We're definitely more excited, excited to like plan the future, and like get the house ready for another baby now, 4th baby.
And then is it a boy or a girl?
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll be including
or has a penis or a vagina.
The reveal video.
Whichever one resonates more with you.
We'll include the reveal video in this podcast.
Will it be a Steve?
Will it be a Steve or a Stephanie? Stay tuned. Well, thank you so much for listening to the MamasteFit Podcast and following along with our pregnancy journeys, our postpartum journeys.
To us babble.
We thought that the era of MamasteFit babies had concluded. JK lols. We are doing it one more time. And by we, I mean, Roxanne, we are not a lesbian couple. We are sisters.
Yes, we are sisters.
With husbands.
People still think we're a lesbian couple, though. Like,
with 8
people
kids.
still message us.
That's
Or I see people out in public and they're like, oh, wait, she's your sister? And I'm like, yeah, she's my sister. What did you think? I was like, I just thought she was your partner. I was like, that we had 8 kids. That's so expensive. Do you know how much sperm
Every
is?
other year?
Do you know how much sperm cost?
Poor planning. Anyways,
IUI is not cheap, y'all.
thank you for listening to this episode and following along our journeys. If you want to be on this journey with Roxanne, there's still time.
You can still join.
If you are already on this journey, feel free to check out our online courses to support you throughout your pregnancy. We have our prenatal fitness program that Roxanne is loosely following right now.
I did one day.
In the first trimester. She will actively resume it in the second trimester when I force her to exercise. You can check out our prenatal fitness programs. We sync it to your week of pregnancy. There's trimester options so that you can choose a journey that fits best for you based on where you are along this journey. We also have our online childbirth education course to help you understand what is going on in your body right now and what's going to be going on during labor, because birth is one of those like really mysterious, scary things for a lot of us. But if you understand what is actually happening, it's a lot less scary. And so we want to help empower you along this entire pregnancy and birth journey. And we also have our weekly updates for each week of pregnancy from my pregnancy that you can follow along with too. So subscribe to that playlist and you can kind of follow that along. And coming soon is our pregnancy week by week newsletter, where you can sign up for the newsletter and get a weekly email to your box telling you everything that you can expect in this week of pregnancy. So stay tuned for that. Join our prenatal fitness program. Join our childbirth education course. We're excited to support you throughout your pregnancy. And thanks so much for following along.
And this podcast is sponsored by Needed. Needed is a nutrition company that focuses on the perinatal time frame that both Gina and I have utilized. I'm currently utilizing it a lot more now. And if you want to check them out, head to thisisneeded.com and use code MamasteFit Pod to get 20% off your order.